Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Diana Skaya, and you're watching Military Mind here on TVP World. Overnight, the Russian military launched another massive attack on the Kyiv region with drones and missiles affecting 3 districts, the head of the regional military administration said. The official added that the strike wounded 1 person. Russian forces also shelled Nikopol, wounding 4. On the front line, a tactical, cautious expansion continues in the Sumy area. Small movements near the woodland-covered border where light infantry and drones are more effective than armored vehicles. This makes it possible to gradually expand positions in the direction of Sumy. Active combat is taking place in the east near Lyshansk and Severodonetsk, but the front lines remain largely unchanged. Some suburbs have been captured and held, but there have been no major territorial gains so far. In the southern Donetsk sector, Ukrainian defense is reportedly crumbling in the area near Zelene Pole, that is almost along the entire front line in the direction. The Russian Defense Ministry announced the capture of the village of Shevchenko and published a flag-raising video as proof. Now moving to the Middle East. An Israeli airstrike on Thursday targeted a street in central Gaza, killing at least 18 people, this according to hospital officials. Witnesses said the strike hit an area where civilians had gathered to collect flour from a Palestinian police unit. The flour had reportedly been seized from gangs that had looted humanitarian aid convoys. Now, the incident is the latest in a series of deadly clashes surrounding the distribution of food in Gaza, where access to humanitarian aid has grown increasingly chaotic in recent weeks. The conflict has severely disrupted supply lines, leaving many residents desperate for basic necessities. Israeli officials did not immediately comment on the strike. Russia is significantly ramping up its strategic missile production capabilities. That's the key finding in a new investigation by the Kyiv Independent. At the heart of this expansion is the Votkinsk machine building plant, a facility in Udmurtia that manufactures some of the Kremlin's most powerful weapons, the Iskander-M tactical missile system and intercontinental ballistic missiles like the Yars and Bulava. And despite sweeping international sanctions, Russia has dramatically scaled up operations at the plant since 2023. New buildings have been constructed, thousands of new workers hired, and high-tech machinery imported, much of it from China, Taiwan, and Belarus. Satellite imagery and intelligence from Ukrainian sources suggest that in 2024 alone, Russia produced roughly 700 Iskander-M missiles. That's nearly 3 times the number it manufactured in 2023. Only about a quarter of those missiles have reportedly been used on the battlefield. The rest are being stockpiled, signaling preparation for a prolonged war. Perhaps even more concerning is the timeline. Just 1 month after launching its full-scale invasion of Ukraine, Russia's defense ministry signed a contract with the Votkinsk plant worth over $13 million to manufacture components for Bulava, submarine-launched intercontinental ballistic missile capable of carrying nuclear warheads. Now, the contract, which ran through 2024, suggests that Moscow was preparing for a long-term confrontation from the very beginning. What's more, the plant has continued to acquire advanced production equipment despite sanctions. In 2023 alone, the Votkinsk facility secured more than $11 million worth of high-precision tools through shadow supply chains. These included Taiwanese CNC machines with Japanese Fanuc control systems and Chinese-made lathes, all essential for large-scale missile production. Experts say this influx of new technology has allowed the plant not just to maintain output, but to increase it significantly. What we're seeing is not just replenishment of depleted missile stockpiles, it's a strategic shift. Russia is building a long-term war economy with the Votkinsk plant at its core. Hundreds of unused Iskander missiles and dozens of Bulava missiles are reportedly now in reserve, a sobering stockpile built with foreign technology and ready to fuel an extended military campaign. Now, despite calls from the international community for de-escalation, Russia is moving in the opposite direction quietly and methodically, strengthening both its tactical and nuclear capabilities. The Votkinsk plant is more than just a weapons factory. It's a warning sign of Moscow's war of attrition strategy and a wake-up call for the West. The night shift for Ukrainian aviation is always hard, packed with explosions and tracer rounds. Now, this clip coming up was posted by Ukrainian air hunters who managed to clip another batch of Russian-Iranian Shahid drones. It features an epic scene worthy of an action movie. An F-16 fighter jet locates the target, gets a clear fix on the Shahid, and launches a Sidewinder missile, usually reserved for enemy aircraft but retrained as a drone killer. Another option for destroying Iranian drones by Ukraine involves the Mi-24 gunship, which rips through the night silence with a staccato of machine gun fire. While the drone tries to dodge in sluggish maneuvers, the Ukrainian helicopter pours tracers from its cannon in a performance that is both precise and beautiful.
Ох, как классно видно в бинокль.
Фига себе осколки.
Еще
один где-то летит.
Drone operators from the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine continue to methodically destroy key elements of Russian air defense in Crimea. This time, the Ghosts, which is the unit's call sign, struck a powerful blow against critical S-400 systems. Now, the video coming up clearly captures the attack on one of the most advanced Russian air defense systems, which was supposed to protect the skies over the occupied peninsula. Now, supposed to being the operative phrase here. In the end, the Ukrainians wiped out two 92N 2E multi-function control radars, two 91N 6E detection radars, and a launcher of the S-400 system. In a recent push, elements from the Ukrainian 225th Assault Brigade encountered the Russians in the border village of Kindrativka in the Sumy region. Kiev's forces discovered two buildings that Russians used for shelter and fire control in the area. The video coming up next clearly shows the moment of the strike. In a matter of seconds, only rubble and smoke remain of the Russian position. Let's take a look. And that's all for this edition of Military Mind here on TVP World. I'm Skaya. Until next time.